give me that mic, fool. Let me get a few things off the chest. I remember them student days put me.
This is the PT Portal podcast. This is the podcast by PTs for PTs. We are here to bring you relevant information on the PT industry. We're going to bring you tangible information that will help with your fitness or PT career. I'm Marcus. This is Derek, aka the Ruckus.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Today's a little bit different. You will have just chewed through the sales podcast, which is a big one. There's a lot of information on that.
Part one.
Pause. Part one. There is part two coming, but we have had a lot of feedback. People asking who the fuck we are, pretty much.
Who are you?
Pretty much asking who the fuck we are. We have touched on our beginnings as a PTs and things like that, experiences as PTs. But we do things outside of PTA. I don't know, do you?
No, not
What do
really.
you usually do? Nothing.
Nah.
Fucking loser.
Just live in the gym, eh?
That it?
Nah.
You trying to go debum? We're trying to go debum mode.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, fuck it. I'll change my Instagram tag.
The handle.
Debum. The handle's debum.
Yeah. Anyway, we have had people ask who we are. Some of even our friends have asked us to kind of dive a little bit deeper into our backgrounds, which to us obviously isn't that big of a deal. But for you guys to understand where we come from, might make the rest of the stuff that we talk about make a little bit more sense.
Yeah. Can make this real short though. We're nobody. But we will help you. But we're nobodies. Should you seen it there? Nah, I'm just joking. But yeah, we thought maybe it's a good time for us to, now that we've got a few episodes out now and there's been a decent amount of engagement, that we probably should share who we are, what we enjoy, our backgrounds, maybe even why we decided to do PT. Yeah.
PT. Yeah, what I decided to do PT. Should I go? I'll start.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
Why did you start to do PT?
Why did I start to do PT? I'll be completely transparent. It made the most sense.
For you personally?
For me personally. Yep.
Yeah.
It made the most sense. It was the most logical next step
For you.
for me. So I grew up playing sport, mostly rugby, bit of basketball, bit of touch, like all the normal Kiwi sport that you play growing up. Wasn't crazy good at anything in particular. Played like first 15 and stuff like that for my school for a couple of years. Played like a real stacked obese team. If you guys know anything about Dunedin, they used to like buy their players and shit. Nah, jokes. They had a real good team, like a few like good players come out of there who went on to like play Super Rugby and stuff like that. Can't even remember last year. I don't even want to say it because everyone's going to call me old. Went to King's High School in Dunedin. Like I said, played footy there. Got out of school, didn't really know what I wanted to do. But played rugby for another couple of years at Colts. Realized I just didn't love it anymore. I didn't have that like drive to train and shit anymore. Wasn't something that I really enjoyed. So the natural transition was into like the gym.
Yep.
Still kind of just like trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Started going to the gym. And yeah, like just kind of settled on. My mate was one of my real good mates who I grew up with, was like, I think he was like trying to do BCom, just like hated it. And he's like, bro, I'm going to go do PT next year. And I was like, bet, let's run it. So we both jumped in the same year. Did PT, did a 2-year diploma, then cross-credited into the Bachelor of Applied Science. And then in 19 moved up here.
Nice.
Started doing PT. I started doing PT. It was the most logical next step. Yeah. No crazy story there.
Yeah. And when you were studying, like, were you like, yeah, I can't wait to get in the industry and start.
Nah, still after that 2 years, I was like, I don't know enough to be a PT, and still not even too sure if I want to be a PT. Again, because someone from my background who like looks like me, who has the same mannerisms as me, is a little bit of an introvert. I know heaps of the shit that I do is like kind of conflicting of that. But I am definitely like a little bit of an introvert. Yeah. Always felt like I didn't fit in with like a particular crowd. Like head boys, obviously. Yeah. But that's just, I guess it's just like I don't know the science behind being an introvert, but I guess it's just like one of the things that you always feel. So like going into PT was a little bit of a weird step. Like if you had to go back to the people I went to high school with and you were to tell them what I'm doing now, especially even to be doing this in front of a camera, they were like, what the fuck? No way he's doing that shit. So if you're watching this and I went to high school with you, what's up?
I made it.
Yeah, we all know. So you're like typically, I guess this was 2014 maybe, when I was like still studying. Like it made the most sense to me to go into that role, but I didn't see a lot of people that reminded me of myself doing PTA. It was just like still kind of this Les Millsy kind of group fitty, always smiling, always happy, like type vibe to personal training. And that was 100% not me.
Fair.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So it was the most logical step for me. But when I got into PT studying for it and got into that, trying to figure out the industry, I knew I loved fitness and I knew I loved like training, but that's how most people start, I guess, just like loving training, like shit, I could help other people do this. And that's how most people start. And then you realize that just like all the stuff that we've been through, there's this big whole other world of learning your value, like finding an environment, learning how to sell and things like that. That's a big part of like being a PT. And then, yeah, like being a little bit quieter, being a little bit shyer, I struggled to think like, fuck, how do I navigate that? Like, so yeah, just naturally kind of like started to figure that out. I leaned a lot on my value. Yeah. Like we talked about last podcast, like leaned heaps on my value, and just my experience inside of the gym and like understanding like, training systems and things like that. So I leaned heaps on that. And that kind of like guided me through, and fuck, you just start to naturally like develop. Once you realize the ins and outs and like that PT is literally running a business. Mm-hmm. Once you start to realize that, I felt more in tune with being a PT, because that stuff I really enjoy.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you?
What was the first question? What did I ask you at the start?
I don't fucking know. It was like 10 minutes ago.
Why did I do PT?
Why did you become a PT?
Oh, that's right.
How? Why how?
I decided to be a PT. I went to university in Otago, same time as Marcus. I was actually studying psychology and music. But
you wanted to be like a psychologist, like musician?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, like sing songs to them to like make them feel better.
Like psychedelic songs. Yeah. That's kind of
old. I did a minor in business management and marketing as well. I have...
Did you graduate? Did you go all the way through?
No. So I play basketball. I had been playing and used to play basketball quite competitively. And I went on a trip for like a select team in New Zealand to Vegas, and we were all going over there to try and get recruited to go to college. And at the end of my first year, my headmaster at my halls was like, I literally get paid to try and help you stay here and make sure you do stay at university to study. And she was like, but I'm telling you to go and play basketball. So I dropped out of university.
Yeah.
I went back home. I got a few offers from schools in America that I was like weighing up the options in terms of like finances, scholarships,
Any
sizes.
like schools that we know?
No, they were quite small. The school that I was probably the closest to going to was a school in Boston, in the middle of Boston, Massachusetts, called Fisher College.
That would have been so mean.
Yeah,
you
it's
obviously
literally
didn't go.
right in the middle. No, I didn't end up going. So I came back home, was weighing up my options to go to college. Got asked to sign with the local team from where I'm from, Taranaki. And I wanted to keep eligibility to potentially still go to college. So I played a year as an amateur.
Yeah.
I got a lot of court time in that first season because one of our imports got seriously injured and sent home. So I got into the rotation. I had like a pretty good year. The whole college thing kind of went on the back burner for me a little bit, just seemed a little bit out of reach. Like they were going to give pretty good scholarships, but not full rides, and like the financing of the rest of it for me and my situation was just like, maybe I could go for a year, but that like, I just don't know how I was going to supposed to be able to like continuously go to college in America because of how expensive it was.
Do you regret that?
Yes and no.
I feel like a young Kiwi kid that's playing basketball is probably looking at the NBA as a pretty, like at the level that you're playing at anyway.
Yeah.
Probably like watched the NBA, probably have favorite players, probably knew like what the college league was like over there, like how big college ball and stuff is over there. Like, so for you to like not go, is that like, was that a hard decision?
Yeah. Like the hard thing is with that situation was like, it's so the school that I was like considering is so expensive to go to. The scholarship was like, I want to say it was like $20,000, but a year's tuition was like $55,000.
Oh, right. Okay.
And they were like we were keen to have you. So it was like, cool. Let's say I come up with $35,000 for the first year. What am I doing the next year?
Yeah, because there's no like student loan.
No, nothing. It's all you have to. Like, it all has to be paid for. Like, it has to be out of your parents' pockets, pretty much.
Yeah, it's literally just like, are my parents going to pay for it or not?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was like that situation was like, yeah, maybe I can get the money to go for a year, but then it's like if they don't give me a full ride the next year, which when I was communicating with them, they made it sound like they didn't give a lot of full rides out to college students. They gave a lot of partial rides because their school was smaller. I think it was quite a big academic school. And it wasn't in the like Division 1 NCAA. It was like Div 3, I think.
Yeah.
Which was still pretty good. Division 3 still got some very talented players. There are a lot of players that go from Division 3 up to Division 1, they make the NBA. So I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm just saying like, because it's a lower division, the money that goes towards it, because there's no TV times, all that sort of stuff, is a lot less. So the scholarships they give out are a lot smaller. And they normally try to spread it over, trying to get a good team in with multiple players rather than like getting 2 or 3 people in and then everyone else just being like people that attend the university. So I decided, so kind of backtrack a bit. I had a real good first season back home with the Taranaki Mountaineers, and then a few opportunities like kind of came up that I was like, didn't really have in the back of my head planned. So then the college scene kind of got put to the back burner a little bit. Part of me regrets not going only because, you know, who knows what the opportunities could have been like. Could have been crazy, right? But then part of me doesn't regret going because I got a lot of opportunity in the New Zealand basketball scene by staying. I was in this loop, had left university, was playing basketball, blah, blah, blah. Won't talk too much about that because it doesn't matter. But I knew I still had to do something. So after my first year of leaving uni and then signing with the Taranaki Mountaineers, then kind of deciding I wasn't going to go to college, I actually was going to study history correspondently from Massey University. I literally signed, enrolled for the papers, got my textbooks, and then like 3 days before,
course related.
Yeah, 3 days before the course started, I pulled out because I read the textbook and I was like, yeah, damn, I don't actually care about history that much. I was in one of those two minds. Like, I only ever thought about playing basketball. Everything else was just a secondary. So I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I was just trying to figure it out. So when I went to university, studied psychology, knew that wasn't for me. Loved music, but that's always just been something that's like gone through my family, I guess. And the business side thing was just kind of like, I guess this would make sense to me. to be able to like apply that to life.
Yeah.
Decided to study history, didn't go through with it, played my second season with the Ears, got a lot more minutes, started a lot of games, and then I was like, I actually still need to study something. Like my mum was quite like, you know, this isn't forever, you need to have something in the back burner, blah, blah, blah. During this process of time from the first year of uni to my second season with the Taranaki Mountaineers, I had a lot of coaches saying like, I'm not the tallest guy in a basketball court. Like, I'm not going to front, I'm not tall at all. But they were like, you're good, but you need to get stronger. You need to get bigger. You need to be able to throw your body around. Like people like New Zealand greats like Paul Hinare. I'd go to like NZ camps and stuff and he'd be like, you're like me, but you're just way skinnier. You need to be able to throw your body around. You need to get in the gym. You need to lift weights, blah, blah, blah. So I took that on chin in that 3-year gap and I did put on a decent amount of size. And during that period of time, that was when I kind of came to the revelation that I was like, maybe I should just do PT. Like I go to the gym.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it made sense, similar to you, right? The whole time I studied PT though, I did not want to be PT.
Yeah.
My tutors would come to me and they're like, you're real good at this. Like you have really good understanding of, I'd been in teams, so I'd got well-structured programming and like, you know, I learned stuff by being in a professional team atmosphere. Like you're like light years ahead of your classmates. You'd be really, really good at this. You should definitely look into this. And I was like, I don't want to be a PT. Like I'm hooping. Like that's all I ever thought about, right? Yeah. Fast forward a year, situations changed. And I was like, okay, I'll move to Christchurch. There's Christchurch team had been coming back into the scene. They'd been away for a while, but they were just coming back into the scene. I was like, I'll just try like crack it down there. Had a few friends down here, so I like came down and broke my pinky finger, completely broke my pinky finger like maybe 4 to 6 weeks before the season started, preseason started, and I was training with like the top players in the team all summer, like really like hoop, like honestly, till this day, I was playing the best basketball probably in the summer of 2014, 2015.
What, you played the best basketball?
Like just like the lead up to that season, I would have like, I swear, like I would have been in the best form.
Yeah.
That I broke my pinky finger. I missed out on preseason selection. I didn't play.
Oh, damn.
So then I was like, I need a job.
Yeah, right.
And then the only thing I had,
you graduated by then?
Yeah, and the only thing I had was my diploma in PT.
Oh, facts.
So I was like, signed up at a gym and was like, went there for a workout. And they were like, sweet, we'll see you tomorrow. And then I was about to walk out the door and I was like, can I ask you a random question? And they were like, yeah, what's up? Like, all good. And I was like, you're not taking anyone on, like any new PTs on board? Because I looked in the gym, it was quiet as. I think there was like one other PT there. So you're not taking any new PTs on board at the moment, are you?
Was that
like,
Andrew?
Yeah, I think it was Andrew. But I was like, they were like, we actually are. We've got a job on Seek at the moment. Like, we're actually taking 2. And I was like, oh, they're like, are you qualified? I'm like, yeah, I am. They're like, oh, do you want to bring your CV in tomorrow when you come train and we'll talk to you? And then the rest is history.
10 years deep.
Yeah. It's crazy.
10 years deep.
So yeah, bro, like same as you, I guess, like I didn't want to do it, maybe not necessarily because I didn't feel like I knew enough, but I didn't want to do it because like that just was not, like I said, with all my study, none of those things was ever on my radar until I got to like probably like 22.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. It's just like one of those things, like just from the backgrounds that like we come from, like the families that we have, like when you look at people that look like us, the things that they're doing are like playing like professional sport. Yeah. Like they're playing league or like ball or like something like that. The people that like look like your way. So you're just naturally like, it's like that or nothing.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it's like
it's the harsh reality, right? Like,
yeah.
Like we don't care talking about it openly about it because it's probably one of the main reasons we are where we are right now, because we knew we didn't want to be the nothing.
Yeah, fact.
You know? So it is what it is. And like, we don't mean any disrespect by saying these things either. Like, this is just the like stigma that gets put on like people that look like us. It's the harsh reality of it. This is what happens. So yeah, we're just outlining that. But yeah, bro, it's like, I've never been one to not want to work, whether it be towards hoops or working part-time. Like, I'm pretty sure I got my first job when I was like 15 at a takeaway shop that I lived around the corner from, growing all up through my life. And they were like, we'll give him a job. I've had a job since I was 15 years old. When I came back from uni after I quit uni, I worked on a farm. Then I worked for the council. I worked part-time for the council. And then I worked for like this inflatable world place during the summer, like putting up this like 3 meter tall water slide at schools every day. Like, just like, you know, like it sounds like gay, but like I just wasn't afraid to work. Working was never an issue. It was just like I never knew what to do.
Bro, one of my funniest jobs that I did when I was at uni is there was this wee like, one of my mates, I can't remember how I got into it, like one of the boys that I used to go to the gym with, there used to be these events for like special needs kids.
Oh yeah.
Right? And like we'd have to go, there'd be like a group of like 5 or 6 of us, and we'd have to go and just like help out and shit like that. You know, like, I don't know, put the food out and stuff like that, do little like niggly jobs, real like mean pay. Like I think it was like, we see like $500 for like the day or something like that. It was like mean, because obviously we're funded. But then there was always one person that had to dress up as like, or 2 people that had to dress up
as like an animal or something.
One time I had to dress up as Darth Vader. And I was like walking around this like bowling alley place, bro. It's like Darth Vader. There's crack up ass photos of me still in it. But yeah, I get what you mean. Like the funny thing for me, bro, was when I was growing up, I knew I'm gonna have my whole like adulthood to like work. So I was like, nah, fuck that. I don't want to work here. I know at some point I'm gonna have to, because like, not that it's bad or anything like that, but like my older brother dropped out of school pretty early, had a job straight away. Same with like a couple of my other cousins. Like the group of like friends that they had, like kind of same thing. Like the school wasn't for them for whatever reason. And I was just like, I seen how like young, like 15, 16-year-olds like went in like those labor intensive jobs, and I was like, never me.
Yeah.
Never me, cuz never me. So like I always knew at some point I was gonna have to. Just back to that like hard work thing. My granddad, my heritage is like we're from the Cooks. So my granddad was like super, super close with, he named me and everything. So just like builds like a bond and stuff like that between us or whatever. But he came over from Raro to New Zealand to give his kids like a better life.
Yeah.
And like from my point of view, the jobs that they were working wasn't what he expected. Wasn't what he had envisioned.
Yeah.
So because we had that connection, I always thought, fuck, I've got to do it. Like, I've got to figure out what he meant by like a better life. Yeah. And I have to figure it out.
And like I met your brother and he's came up to me and he was like, fuck, you guys are killing it. Like both me and you.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, like just someone has to. And he's like, bro, it's mean. Like he's like, I'm so proud of him, but it's mean that we got to meet at Juicy together, and he was like, fuck, it's actual sick to see you guys do so well. And I'm just like, man, if we don't do it, then, you know, who's the next? Someone's got to take the first step. I mean, again, we're putting ourselves in a like bubble in terms of what gets said about people that look like us, but like, and there are definitely a lot of other people that are more successful than us that look like us too. We're not trying to say that.
I'm trying to say like from their perspective, what they have done, it looks like we have done something pretty cool. And
exactly.
From a world point of view, like we've done nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And we understand that. We understand we've done nothing.
We're not trying to act like we're them.
Like we made it.
Yeah. But we're just trying to show.
But I think it's the mindset to strive for something bigger than us.
Yeah, for sure. And like, don't settle like because your dad did that and your cousin does this and your, you know, brother's going in that same direction. Like, you don't have to fit the mold. You know? Like you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Strive for greatness. Be the, I don't know, you know, there's lots of stuff that people want to be. Like, just don't settle. Don't settle for everything else that everyone else has got, because it just seems right.
Yeah, and it's literally like everyone that tells you, like, all these successful people say, like, at the end of the day, it comes down to hard work.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't avoid that shit.
Yeah.
And once you start leaning into it and starting to enjoy that process, like, it gets so fucking way better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I always think about it as well, like, I'm putting in this amount of effort, which in the scheme of my whole life is nothing.
Yeah.
But if you think about it of like, oh, I've had to put in 6 months of hard grind just to get like a little bit further in life, it's like 6 months of your like your thinking, hopefully potential 70, 80 year old long life.
If that's your mindset,
crazy,
like,
bro.
fuck.
Like, work for like 10 years. It's still like a portion of your life that you're never going to hate.
If you're going to work for that long, bro, you might as well work for your, like, build something for yourself.
Yeah, bro, for sure.
Just with that, like, that whole, like, I feel like this is something that I hold on to, like, pretty internally. And we've actually had a conversation. We're probably the only ones that had a conversation about it. But I feel like my time is a little bit limited, or a little bit, my days are like a little bit numbered. Not like, this is not to get too crazy, but like my mum passed away when she was quite young. She was only 50, like due to illness. And she was only 50, yeah. So I'm about to be 30 this year. And I'm like, fuck, bro, if I want to make sure that my daughter's looked after by the time I'm 50 and I can just go like peacefully and she's looked after, then like we're on a clock, bro. Yeah. Like we got to go now, eh? So I think just that urgency, that may be like any psychologists out there, like break that down for me. It may be really bad. I don't know. I may be like
super unhealthy.
Yeah, it could be like super unhealthy, and I don't. But it's just like one thing when your alarm goes off and you have that thought in your head. You got 20 years, bros. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, there's one thing.
It's real easy to get going. You know,
there's one thing actually as well. Like you said to me not that long ago, and I think about it all the time.
Yeah,
it's like it just stuck with me, obviously, because we've had these chats about stuff.
Yeah,
it's like when your alarm goes off, like you don't think, "Fuck, I got to get up." You are always grateful just to be alive.
Yeah, bro.
It's
and another day.
Fucking always hits me.
Yeah.
Every day I feel like, fuck, I can't be fucked. My alarm's gone off 4 a.m. I'm tired as. I think about you saying that to me, and it like picks me up straight away. And I'm like, bro, my life's not that bad.
Bro, my life's mean.
Yeah, like it's, yeah. So like,
yeah,
even for that, appreciate it. But like when you said that to me, I never. It sounds crazy, to be fair, to like not think about it like that. But I never thought of it like that. Yeah. And I was like, for real, like.
It's like two thoughts, bro. When I open my eyes and I'm like, there's two thoughts. It's like, it's either my mum, and just most recently it's like been my daughter, but it's like either my mum or it's the fact of like, you've got 20 years. Like you got 20 years, bro. Like it's another day. Like when you only have 20 years, you can start looking at days. If you think like, fuck, I've got another 50, bro.
Yeah. I'll
figure it out soon at some point. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
it's motivating though.
Yeah, not to get like deep and meaningful.
No, I mean, that's what they're here for, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
It's good, bro. That's it. Like, I think for me, like my motivation stems from just like, again, love my family and everyone in my family and stuff. But like, you know, I didn't have a dad growing up and stuff. So it was a single parent household, which always is tougher. You know, as a parent now, that shit's crazy, right? So
shout out my mom.
Yeah, facts.
She did it.
Shout out my mom too. But like, I didn't want that.
Yeah.
Even if I was single and a dad or whatever, I had to look after. I was like, whatever that was, I don't want it. And I don't mean disrespect by that. Like I just mean it as like, that's what motivates me.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what makes me want to do shit and start businesses and go on these like, you know, adventures and invest money and lose money and everything else.
Figure it
all out. It's because my biggest fear is not doing it.
That is crazy. And like, if you feel like that's always chasing you,
bro, it's like the 20-year thing.
Yeah.
That's probably why we like got along so well.
Yeah.
It's because like you had your version of it and mine was similar, but they lined up almost exactly.
But they make the most sense, eh?
Yeah.
And like, I guess we should kind of preface this by like saying like, we haven't actually known each other that long.
Nah, I
in
mean,
the grand scheme of things,
it probably seems like we've known each other since we were like 10.
Yeah.
Just with the way we conversate. Like. And we've even said like, I think it was like the first year after we had like first like got close.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not even trying to like go gay on you right now. But like, it felt like.
Try to kiss me.
I felt like I'd known you for like my life.
Bro, same. Facts.
And I was like, this is weird, bro.
Just like the similarities and shit like that. And just like the backgrounds, all that shit, like just randomly, like I felt like, not like we were the same person, but like it was just I don't know.
It was easy though, eh?
It was easy. It was chill.
Yeah, it was chill.
Like, you know when you have new friends to start off with, you don't really know them, but certain things, whether it's like conscious or like not, you understand them a little bit more and you realize what kind of person they are, eh? Like just little things like that. Like
you pick up on things.
Like, one thing that's always been massive between me and my boys, which I've just found out that's like not really a thing, is like we would never like we would never mess with like each other's like girlfriends or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like no-go zone, like no like foul shit like that.
Mhm.
But you get older and you realize, fuck, all these other people aren't like this, eh?
Nah.
Like it's just crazy to me.
It's
And
hard
that's
to,
one thing.
it's
Like
hard to wrap your head around it.
if we had this relationship and then I heard something about you and like disrespecting like one of your best friends or something like that, like with that type of shit, then I'd be like,
Yeah, no.
it ain't it.
Facts.
It ain't it.
Yeah, it just lines up.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's just crazy, bro. Like we met at work when we first met each other.
Yeah.
And
Just crazy. We always talk about it that we hadn't met before that.
we literally,
With the circle.
which is weird because we knew so many of the same people.
Yeah.
We just like never crossed paths. We probably did, but just like didn't take it in, right?
We probably did, yeah.
Yeah. But then we met at work, and if you've heard the intro and you're a fan, you probably realize that like the intro is David Dallas. And that's kind of a little tie back. I mean, we both love David Dallas, so like of course we want to put his music on our podcast. Not that it matters and no one cares.
I'm on the podcast, the dog.
But we wanted to have something that linked us and our friendship together. So I started work. I'm a big fan of David Dallas. I knew Marcus listened to similar music as me, but I wasn't sure because we weren't close and we hadn't talked a whole lot. I bought a ticket to David Dallas by myself. Like this is how much of a big fan I was. And I just went up to Marcus at work when he was free and I was like, yo, are you heard that David Dallas in town? And he's like, yeah, bet. I'm like, you going? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, can I come? Can I come with you? And he was like, bet. And then we had a mean night. Pre-drinks was chill. Like, again, we're just getting to know each other. Vibes were good. Went to David Dallas. Mean as time, but that was just like the start. And then from there, just like low-key snowballed because it went fast. Oh, damn, that's crazy.
Damn, we're sounding like the gayest couple.
I know, it's crazy. But, I mean, we're here now, so we're going to talk about it.
We're here now. We're
going to talk about it, right? This is what they want to know. But yeah, it was cool. It was, random how
just
it works.
Back even to like the David Dallas, like the album that did the most for me was the Rose Tint album.
That's the album, bro.
Yeah, it was the album. And it was his tour. It was a 10-year anniversary that we went to.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
We went to that and like that was the album like because we were in high school we would have been like what 14, 15, 16 or something. Those are kind of the albums that develop.
Yeah,
that
maybe.
Mean the most
it might have
usually.
came out then, but I feel like it was like in like maybe when we were 16, 17.
Yeah, something
Like it was
that.
rolling like that.
Yeah. I remember being at a rugby tournament with I didn't have an iPod. One of the boys used to let me run his iPod, and David Dallas was like the only rap album like on his like iPod.
Yeah,
I remember just like falling asleep to that like every night of the tournament. Like,
to be fair, bro, even first year uni, bro, I was just rocking them, mate. Like,
because he like talks about the same shit. Like I said, like at the top of the podcast, like I feel like I am quite an introvert, and like that's kind of like what he was like. He would rap about like things like that, like being the shy kid.
Yeah. Nah, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah, and he's just
come on podcast.
Paif, make it happen.
Shout out my boy Paif. My boy Paif.
We had a crack up ass night that we went up. Remember when Paif was leaving? And when we were having shisha at his? Remember
when he was going back to Orcs.
Yeah. That was a mean night too.
That was a good night too, yeah. Fuck
was that the same night
Paif's
we went
one
to?
of the boys, eh?
Yeah, hard.
For real.
Hard.
Yeah. Shout out Paif, bro.
Shout out Paif.
But
is he still balling?
No, he's having a gap year. I was missing him the other day actually. Just checked in on him because I saw he went to that Soundy Cloud, whatever that concert that was on in Auckland last week.
Oh, the R&B one. That actually looked fire. That would be
Summer Walker was there or something.
Summer Walker, Bryson Tiller.
Yeah.
That actually looked fire.
He was there and I was like, you're not hooping? And he's like, nah, I'm having a break here. So fair enough. Got to do what's best for you, man. For sure.
Yeah, facts.
Anyway, back into a little bit about us. We're going off topic again a little bit. It's kind of the reason why we started PT. I guess there's a little bit about why we are here now and about our friendship, what brought us to creating the PTP and like two like-minded people wanting to help other like-minded people be more successful in a, overpopulated, pretty competitive industry. So, when I think Marcus had an idea, I came up with an idea, and when we kind of like brought it together, it made so much sense for both of us. And we were just like, this needs to happen.
Yeah, like the conception of like PTP was like us spitballing. We know
Probably for a year, right?
Yeah, probably like a decent year, like because it was there was like an evolution of it. Like we were supposed to do heaps of different, like we weren't supposed to do heaps of different things, but it started off as something a little bit different, and then it kind of just evolved into this, and this is where we are now. But yeah, it's probably like going back and forth for maybe a year or so.
Yeah, it was about a year because I feel like when I came back to Christchurch the weekend of my birthday and I came drinks with you, Vita, at Nick's place.
Oh, you're right next to
That's when we first talked about mentoring.
Always over some drinks.
Or me and this dude used to be every Friday arvo, either at one of the boys' houses or at my house.
Bro, that was amazing.
Drinking, bro.
But do you remember there was that David Dallas event?
Yeah.
But there was also, we both had to renew our first aid certificate.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember that day?
That was a gangster day.
Bro, that was so funny.
That was crack up. So short story. It's not that cool for anyone else, but it was great for us.
But it was lit for us.
So we like booked in the same first aid course. I was like, bet I'll pick you up from work. Yep. Starts at 11. We'll get there at 11. No biggie. Sweet.
Nah, it was like 9.
No, it was, I got a text saying 11, but it started at 9.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I got a text saying it started at 11. For some reason, we walked in and everyone's down, like sitting down, doing their paperwork and shit. And I'm like, damn, we late? They're like, nice for you to show up. And I was like,
the guy's like, you must be Derek and you must be Marcus.
And I was like, oh, are we late? And they're like,
talk about stereotypes.
They were like, yeah, it started at 9. And I was like, I got a text saying it started at 11. They're like, no, the times got changed, but we didn't get text. Greatest thing ever. We did an hour and a half of a renewal first aid course and still got our certificates.
Yeah, this guy was like pashing the fucking dummy and shit.
Oh, shut up.
The boy won. Bro, but the funniest thing after that was like, it must have been like summer or something. It must have been like either start or end of the year or whatever.
Yeah,
but do you remember we were like leaving and like we hadn't really, I don't know if we'd really drunk like together, like before.
Just David Dallas.
Yeah, maybe it was just David D-Dot.
But even then, when I got to D-Dot, I went front, you guys went back, and then I obviously was caught up with Paif.
Yeah,
and Paif got me in to see D-Dot meet him. Then you guys left, and then I don't know if we linked back up again.
Yeah, I can't even remember.
Like, I can't remember if I came to town and linked up with you.
Yeah, because I was with like Ev and Avneet.
Yeah.
And Nick and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had this first aid. Like we're supposed to be there for like half the day or a day, even maybe half a day.
I think it was supposed to be 9 till 3.
Some shit like that.
And we went like 11 till 1:30.
He was the go, like instructor though, eh?
Yeah, but it was like not long after COVID, so like there was a lot of non-interacting, remember?
Yeah.
That's why I think it got sped up.
We were leaving there, the sun was out. We hadn't drunk together like too much. It was like a Friday afternoon. It was probably only like still like 12 o'clock, eh? We're just giving each other those ones, eh?
So nice.
You know when the brother, eh? You know those ones. What else after us, G?
Not much, G. Just
Jack, bro. Jack, eh?
Pretty thirsty though, eh?
Should we get a drink?
Oh, should we get a box?
Should we get a box?
Hey, we'll get a box.
Bro, we'll get a box. Nah, we'll get a drink. We'll go to Spate's Ale House. Maybe get a feed. Have a few there. Get a box. Go back to yours.
Yeah, we'll go back to mine. I'll just I'll pull the hoop out and we can shoot some hoops and shit at mine too.
Bet. Oh, true.
Yeah,
bet.
All right, bet.
Is Brent gonna be home?
Yeah, bro. He'll have some.
He'll be wasted by now.
That's pretty much exactly how the conversation went down.
Yeah, and there was like
that was the start.
Those are the best nights though, way when you're like not even expecting it.
And we just like yarned heaps, like talked a lot about. This is when we kind of got to know each other on the level of like. I learned a lot about like his value, his intention, not only with business but like in life because we talked about work.
Yeah.
So I could like link that to like his personality.
Yeah, and you start to find out. Like, oh fuck,
and it was the same thing, right?
It's the same. Fuck, this guy has the same values as I do.
Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. And yeah, fuck, that's crazy that was 3 years ago.
Fuck, that was actually nuts. Eh? We drew one. Yeah,
we say that every time though.
Yeah, I mean, however many podcasts we've done and we've said that we're going to get on the piss together. We still haven't. Well, you'll know when we do.
Bro just had a kid though, like for real. So
yeah, I still have my baby.
Yeah, so we can't rush these things.
Nah.
It has to be well planned out now. We can't just get in the car on a Friday and look at each other like this. Should we? We can't do that anymore, bro.
Well, those are the funniest ones, eh? Because then like, if you had said nah, I'd be like, nah, jokes.
Yeah, nah,
me
not
neither,
keen.
G. Nah, I got heaps of shit to do anyway.
I gotta mow the lawns. You used to always say that. Nah, I gotta go home and mow the lawns.
Bro, my lawn's like mad long. It's been so mean for like the summer's been so dry.
Oh, they're just
and
not
they're
good.
just like hardly grow. It looks like shit, but
they'll be all right in the winter.
so fucking busy at the moment that it's probably been mean, but
Yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else that they need to know about us?
nah, I think that like kind of like sums up like
Who we are, why
you will
we're
have
here.
found out like little stories and things like that along the way, which was kind of our intention, not so much like there's this like thing that we love and we like really believe in. So getting you guys to the point you need to be at is our goal, not really about telling our stories.
Yeah.
As like two guys that really want to do like real cool things but haven't accomplished everything that they want yet, we probably feel like our story is not that important yet.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it's like we don't think our background or our stories of where we came from is super important. I reckon probably how we became friends is probably quite important because it's like the foundation of this business that we help PTs with.
Yeah.
But it might make us more relatable and maybe people will understand more what we're trying to, like the information we're trying to give, how we're trying to help, where it comes from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. If I could get them to take one thing away from like this today, like just the PTs anyway, the PTs watching this and like maybe you're unsure and shit like that. But like even if you are just like typically a little bit shy or a little bit like quiet, but you like I was like that, but I always felt like I could do fucking anything. Like I never thought that me being shy was going to stop me from doing anything. Yeah. That was like one thing, and I know that's probably not the same for everyone. Like it's probably more of like a self-confidence thing. I was quiet and shy, maybe like a little of an introvert, but I was always like confident in my ability. Yeah. So like if you're looking at doing something from the outside in, it looks like only a certain type of person can do that.
Yeah.
Don't let that stop you from like doing that shit, because this definitely, like I said, if you ask people from high school what they think I was doing right now, it wouldn't be this. Yeah. And it's taught me so many like lessons.
Yeah, bro.
Yo.
Yeah. That's us.
Yo.
Appreciate all the love.
Wrap it up.
We are.
Thanks, Nick. You the GOAT.
Yeah, shout out Nick.
Shout out Nick.
Always the greatest.
Give me that microphone, let me get a few things off the chest. I remember them student days, put me to